The training was very insightful in the sense that there are so many areas that we miss in our processing businesses. So having to have a recap of that information was very insightful. At least now we'll be able to implement it in a way that drives our business to scale in the right direction.
Well, the training was actually an eye-opener. You know, back in our farm, we've just been doing haphazardly. And now, these lessons, they've actually come at the right time. And what I intend to do now when I go back, it will be serious work. I'm going to implement whatever it is that I've actually gotten from this training, and I'll make sure that from the highest, myself, up to the lowest level, all the visitors, whoever visits our farm, all the friends, whoever comes into contact to our farm, we shall make sure that we implement all these things, because we do realize that we are in business.
I think this was a very welcomed convention. It was good to come and interact and network and get to find out what's actually happening in the industry, to share ideas and find out what other people are doing as well. And I'm sure this is going to help lots of the small to medium industries, because they have an opportunity now to be food safety champions in the industries that they're coming from. Knowledge is power, and I think they feel empowered living this place. And when somebody feels empowered, it is very easy for them to empower others and hence grow food safety for the benefit of the whole country.
I found the training very, very instrumental, especially being a medium enterprise. Although I already have a Bureau Veritas certification, it's always good to learn from other health companies about what they are implementing. And I'm sure a lot of the SMEs that have come here through Market Connect will also benefit from it.
I think for me it has impacted in the way I think and feel about food safety, and just a paradigm shift in the way we manage food safety. I must admit that most of the participants, they've changed the way they look at food safety, and it's about passion, the passion that you have inside you. I think that's what really matters. I know we've been certified as food safety champions, but for me it's something that has been impacted inside me, the way I feel about having safe food outside our market there.
The training was very fantastic. It was super because ever since we started food processing, this is the first time that I've attended such a training where we are looking at safety where food is concerned. So it was very practical. We had a lot of discussions and we had a lot of fun. And you know, this is how a training should be conducted. It was a plus actually for our organization, because what we have learned here concerning food safety, we are just going to implement. For example, you know, you have the PPE, you know, food safety, food contamination, and you know, we are producing the food that we are eating. It's not only for others, but we also eat the same food. So this was very good.
In a nutshell, what I will do is from this point on is that I'll make sure I encourage my team members and my workers to follow the standards that we've learned here. And I hope that will improve our production processes and also meet the demands and needs of our customers.
Food security, it's something that we shall have to adhere to and make sure that whatever we've learned, we have to put into practice. It has been very successful, and we need appreciate with all the organizers. I thank you.
Our company already is on a quality system implementation process that we are already embarking on. But it's always good to find out what kind of things are in there. There's certain aspects that we were trying to introduce, like food safety culture, food fraud and food vulnerability. All those things I have learnt and have been reinforced in me. And I think my drive has been reinforced to go and further implement these things. We're driving towards a certain certification by mid next year. And this has just furthered my resolve to get there.
Well, we did have a booklet on most of the critical behaviors, and we have picked areas where we have to intensify more rules and regulations to make sure that the factory is following the correct procedures. So we will just have to be more strict to implement all the methods that have to be used in our factory.
Now, what I'm taking back to my organization is the implementations of the things that we have talked about here. It's not basically what we have just learned on paper, but the actual practical implementation of the things that we've learned here. Of course, at the back of my mind, I've got one or two things that I'm going to look at there critically, especially in terms of waste management and pest control, which I feel we've been lacking, and we really need to close that gap. Then further on, we also implement some other programs. Thank you very much.
Well, for example, now during the meeting, I was looking at the meat processing plant which we have in Ndola, and I could see quickly that we need to put up a lot of protective clothes for our employees. I could see that we need to do a lot of sanitation in our factory. We need to do a lot of pest eradication. And we need to do much more than actually what we are doing, which is very good.